Manaka, first of all, I would like to introduce myself. Nemani Tarotaro, originally from Mokan in Thailand. I'm currently the assistant Roko Timba, looking after Nandi. So, my role here today in today's workshop is to come and share my experience on what I know about traditional knowledge related to my current job description or my current work. Before coming over to Nandi, I spent 5 years looking after the Asao group of islands. 5 years is a lot of time to learn a lot from the amount of knowledge that they have. I can say that I'm fortunate enough that I was able to learn a lot from them. My first 2 years in Asao, it took me time to know them. The way they recognize things and the way they value things around them. I regard myself lucky because from the place where I brought up in, wind direction and the seas and the tides, they were not part of my daily life. But when I worked in Asao, that's something I tried to learn in order for me to adjust my working plans and moving from one village to another, or making plans for government delegation. So one thing I really rely on is the amount of knowledge that our local communities have. From November to April, it's normal. The Asao group is well known for cyclone. It's the cyclone path for any cyclone in Fiji. Whether it starts in Kantawu coming up or it starts in Rutuma moving down, Asao will be the ones affected. So for them, preparation is very important. They rely a lot on what is around them. They look at breadfruit trees, they look at banana plants, they look at seabirds flying inland. Even in some places, they have special reefs that shows itself up when the cyclone is about to come. So while they might be just sitting down at the beach in front of their village, and they'll tell me there's a cyclone coming, or there's a weather pattern changing, and I'll ask them why. And they used to say, "You look at that rock; it does not show that that rock does not come out easily. So whenever it comes up, or whenever we see waves forming in that rock or breaking at that rock, it tells us that there's a change in weather pattern." So that's something that I really learned from them. And for them, wind direction and talking about the weather is something important for them. So whenever we have any discussion, we have any grog session, we have a sit down, one topic we'll discuss is the weather. They'll either talk about the weather yesterday, whether it's good or bad, or the weather we are currently facing, the wind is blowing hard or it's very calm, or tomorrow might be a good day. So it's also a time of passing information down. Sometimes I hear about them talking about asking, one of the elders might be asking somebody, "Did you check that stone for that fish?" Whenever this particular wind direction is blowing. So they'll say that when this wind direction is coming, kasala can be found in that particular rock. So that's the sort of information I get. So 5 years in the Asao group is a lot of time for me to learn a lot of things. I learned the wind direction in Fijian, Woliku, Tokalau, Deva. These are things that I don't know. And it comes in handy when I plan for government visits. So whenever ministers come for a visit, or whenever we go for a district meeting, it's this information that helps me make. It's this information that helps me out in making plans. Okay, we'll visit this village first because we'll visit them with this wind direction, and we'll live there at high tide. When it's high tide, the wind coming from this at this particular direction will be a bit weaker compared when it's low tide. So all of this information, it took me time to learn, and it took a lot of time for me to learn this information through sitting down with them. I think one thing that just looking at today's information session, the first day of today's workshop, one thing I need government agencies, I need stakeholders to recognize the amount of knowledge people already have. This is something I always talk about. Whenever, not only in terms of weather and when it comes to traditional knowledge, sometimes certain people want to come in and do one water project. They want to dig one new borehole. they come in with different machines, taking different measurements. But after sometimes, that particular borehole runs dry. But the ones that they were made by the elders way back then, it's still running. So one thing I always encourage anyone that wants to move into any particular community, the knowledge about that particular place, it's already there. You are just coming in for a very short time, and you are just coming in with very little information. For the best thing to be laid out, or for the best plan, or for the best information to be taken out, it should come from them themselves. So back to traditional knowledge, I think they need to be recognized. Even though we might not be using any machines or any apparatus to measure, to take measurements, I think what the last message said by one of our moderators this morning is that the things that are around us, they are older than us, because they are made first before we are made. That's what the Bible says. So most of the time they always act as the elders. They give us the warning first before something happens to us. So they always play that vital role, telling us this is about to come. I'm the eldest, I know it's coming. So that's something special. So today's session, I really enjoyed it. It's a time for me to share what I've learned in the last 5 years. I have nowhere to share it. Leaving the Asawa to come and work in Nandi, I brought that knowledge with me. I have no time to give it out to the person who is replacing me. So that's something. When I hand out work things, I never had time to hand out all the knowledge I have in that particular place. So, but slowly I'm still helping him out. I'm giving him information to help him. I'm giving out information on traditional knowledge to help him in doing his work as an assistant Roko looking after the Asawa. So with those information, once again, thank you.